Major League Wrestling fans, my name is Stephen New. I am a proud Army veteran. At the law offices of New Taylor Associates, we take great pride in representing our veterans. We're representing combat veterans who sustained hearing loss as a result of 3M making defective earplugs. Time is running out and there is no charge for your consultation or case review. Contact our law office for a free initial consultation and case screening to find out if you're entitled to compensation.
Scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first, he is fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in at 205 pounds, accompanied to the ring by Team Filthy. He is Filthy Tom Lawlor.
Damn right I am. I'm gonna say it again. The Filthy.
Well, Filthy Tom Lawlor, he just picked up a championship in New Japan Pro Wrestling, the 2020 Opera Cup winner. But for the first time, Tom Lawlor will collide against Marshall Von Erich.
And we talked earlier about all the bad blood between Team Filthy and the Von Erichs, but now it's the leader of Team Filthy going on one-on-one with Marshall. Marshall has been desperate to get his hands around the neck of Filthy Tom Lawlor.
Retribution on the mind of Marshall Von Erich.
And his opponent from Denton County, Texas, and fighting out of Kauai, Hawaii, weighing in at 250 pounds, accompanied to the ring by his brother Ross, Marshall Von Erich.
Marshall spent a month on the sidelines with an injured knee. He was just cleared for this match. Originally, he had his knee injured by Tom Lawlor at Fusion on Thanksgiving in 2019 when a masked assailant, later revealed as Lawlor, clubbed Marshall in the knee. It cost him a shot at the champ Fatu. But finally, Marshall Von Erich gets his day of reckoning against Tom Lawlor.
Yeah, and that knee has never truly been 100% since that attack back in November of 2019. And if you're Filthy Tom Lawlor, like we talked about during the tail of the tape, focus on that knee as much as you possibly can, and he wastes no time with the drop kick right on the kneecap.
They are going at it, Marshall Von Erich and Tom Lawlor, the first time they have met in singles competition, Ray Flores St. Laurent here in Orlando, and immediately Tom Lawlor driving that knee into the canvas.
Yeah, and you look at the quickness as he slid to the mat to drive that knee right into the canvas. Now attacking up top, and that's one of the things when you focus on that injured body part. Your opponent is now so preoccupied trying to defend that lower limb that the upper body is wide open.
And as you can see, that Marshall Von Erich is trying to really unload upon Tom Lawlor. This is what he's been craving since Thanksgiving of 2019, St. Laurent.
Yeah, as you saw, a nice European uppercut there, but Lawlor able to follow it up. When you are trying to protect an injured knee, sometimes the best defense is just a great offense, to just try to overwhelm your opponent with as many flurries as possible so they can't target that knee. But Lawlor right now, another nice chop. But I think if you're Marshall, we're going to see a more aggressive Marshall Von Erich than we've ever seen before.
And again, that left knee being isolated by Tom Lawlor. There's a reason why they call him Filthy.
There's a lot of concern about Selena's whereabouts. Who was that masked man that shoved her into the car? Alicia is tracking this story. And you have to wonder, what kind of submissions might Lawlor have in mind to target that knee after he's done some damage with enough strikes? Lawlor does win 68% of his matches via submission, according to the Martial Arts Advanced Research System.
Outstanding switch there with Marshall Von Erich and Tom Lawlor. Even though Tom Lawlor is one to try to bend the rules, he is a tough competitor, and now he's looking for a German suplex, it seemed like. Now the referee caught in the crosshairs and going right for the knee. Come on now, it's Tom Lawlor.
Yeah, the more time that Lawlor can spend behind Marshall, that's where you can really do serious damage to that knee. And don't forget, this Saturday at noon, MLW, on Vice TV. You want to make sure to tune into that one. As Lawlor now goes for a Russian leg sweep. No, but a block. And he sends it forward instead. Great counter to the counter by Tom Lawlor.
Now he's got, like in cross arm breaker, it seems like, is Tom Lawlor, and he still continues to wrench in on that knee of Marshall Von Erich.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be going after the arm that seriously, and it actually was just a ploy to get Marshall to raise his defense on one end so he can go after that knee, but Marshall does a great job really extending that body and getting to the rope.
Ross Von Erich watching his brother so far tonight. The Von Erichs are 1-0 against Team Filthy. And again, though, Tom Lawlor kicking away on that injured left knee of Marshall Von Erich. That knee hasn't been 100% in nearly 2 years, St. Laurent.
And Lawlor doing a great job keeping Marshall in the corner. Pulls him back in now to avoid the rope break as a great knee bar, driving the knee again into that mat. We've seen that a couple times in this matchup. It's been working very effectively. And if you're a new viewer to MLW Fusion or pro wrestling in general, anytime a pin or a submission, if either competitor ends up in the ropes, the ref has got to break it up. So if Lawlor wants to make Marshall Von Erich tap out, has to keep him closer to the center of the ring.
And right now, Tom Lawlor unloading upon Marshall Von Erich, but back comes Marshall, as Marshall with the head of steam sending Tom Lawlor to the buckle, and he unloads a clothesline on him.
Looking for a DDT here possibly, no, a suplex. But look at that wide base from Lawlor. Gonna make it very difficult, especially with the injured knee, for Marshall to get him up.
A high ring IQ by Tom Lawlor. And right now just unloading on the chest is Marshall Von Erich, taking out his frustrations on Tom Lawlor. Violence is forever. They're on the apron, and oh my goodness, what is going on? The referee's totally distracted. Turn around, referee, turn around. Marshall Von Erich, and what is that, a wrench? Oh my goodness, he hits the knee. Oh my goodness, pain upon Marshall Von Erich. Absolutely disgusting that Tom Lawlor hit Marshall Von Erich with the wrench, taking out his injured left knee. I mean, my goodness.
But this is supposed to be a professional wrestling sporting competition. Why did Marshall bring a wrench into the ring to begin with, Ray?
You can't use it. It's illegal to use a foreign object. And now Tom Lawlor is in complete control of this matchup against Marshall Von Erich.
I just don't believe that Team Filthy would bring a wrench to the ring, but if they found it there, of course they're going to use it. And now the agony of Marshall Von Erich. That knee has taken so much abuse. Lawlor has just been completely relentless.
Marshall Von Erich wanted his opportunity to get his hands on Tom Lawlor. Well, be careful what you wish for, because now he is in a precarious position now against Tom Lawlor, but he has so much fight left in his blood.
Ross at ringside looks very concerned, but Marshall, some great strikes here.
And look at that, he couldn't even go to the ropes, did Marshall Von Erich. His left leg gave out from underneath him, and I don't know how even he can continue this matchup, St. Laurent.
Yeah, I mean, all credit to the Von Erichs. They're not the quitting type. I don't see him just giving up from knee pain. But if Lawlor locks in a crippling submission move, then Marshall would have no choice but to tap out.
Tom Lawlor, known as Filthy, he's a vicious individual. When he has you hurt, he loves to dish out pain.
Yeah, and let's look at Lawlor's background, right? We talk about it all the time, but it deserves so much praise. A national champion amateur wrestler out of the University of Central Florida, a top-level UFC 10-year veteran. This guy has done it all in so many combat sports, won the World Heavyweight Championship in professional wrestling as he rains down with those elbows in the corner and follows it up with that foot choke. Lawlor is one of the most dangerous competitors we have ever seen in MLW, and Marshall, going in with a knee that already wasn't 100%, I don't see how he can pull this one out.
Well, Marshall Von Erich comes from the Von Erich family. There is Violence is Forever looking on as they watch their man Tom Lawlor completely dominate Marshall Von Erich.
And we've had some great moments from Marshall. It's just every time he's built up some momentum as he's able to move out of the way there. It's just that knee. As he hits a drop kick, how amazing is that? Really having a spring off of just one leg to get up there. But
Two drop kicks there by Marshall.
Yeah, but Lawlor able to get out of the way. It's so hard for Marshall to have a sustained flurry because that knee is so damaged now.
And look at that. He's just torquing away as Tom Lawlor putting the pressure on the hamstrings and that left knee. And you can see that Marshall Von Erich continues to show signs of agony and despair.
Lawlor's done a great job of switching up the offense. Sometimes when your opponent knows that you're only targeting one spot, it's easier for them to defend. But Lawlor has come at that knee from so many different angles, so many different positions. It's really incredible, the variety of holds here that we've seen from Lawlor.
Well, right now, Marshall Von Erich, he's got that claw. It seemed like he was trying to use that claw, but that left knee has taken so much abuse, and it wasn't 100% heading into this matchup. St. Laurent, this match might put him on the shelf for a long time.
Yeah, but if you're Lawlor, you have to be careful no matter how much damage you've inflicted on that knee. If Marshall gets that claw from any position, it could be over. So Lawlor's got to find a way to break this quickly because that claw can end it from anywhere.
Marshall Von Erich had the claw from the ground and from the mat, but Tom Lawlor was able to get out of it as he torques on that left knee again. And don't forget, the new season of MLW starts July 10th, 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. Hope you can join us for that one. MLW2300.com. Tickets almost sold out. It's the hottest ticket in Philly. But look at that, the claw, as Marshall Von Erich rising to his feet. Big right hands and forearm strikes from Marshall Von Erich. But kicking the knee.
Yeah, Marshall's so good at stringing those forearms together, but look at this huge lift from Lawlor. Uranagi slam from the former heavyweight champion of the world.
He drove him right into the canvas, but both men are absolutely spent. It is our main event here on MLW Fusion. Ray Flores, St. Laurent here in Orlando. Marshall Von Erich and Tom Lawlor going at it one-on-one for the very first time.
Yeah, and that was a great point, Ray, about how spent both men are here. Because when you have a huge lift like that, it takes so much out of you to lift a man of Marshall's size that high in the air as they trade the forearms back and forth here. And neither man wanting to show any give, but it's just so much harder for Marshall to stand than it is for Lawlor.
And Marshall unloading those big forearm strikes, but Tom Lawlor looking for a DDT, it seems. But Marshall Von Erich, no, it's like a guillotine choke.
Oh, he might just be trying to choke him.
Thought he was going for a DDT, now a guillotine choke. Marshall Von Erich, could he be fading?
But he's trying to roll those shoulders back. Lawlor doing a great job of keeping the shoulders off the mat, but now he's trapped in the claw as well. We've got a double submission here.
Look at the strength by Marshall Von Erich. Oh my goodness, he has him down, the cover. And oh my goodness. No, just the 2 count. I thought there was a possible 3, St. Laurent.
And it shows you the freakish strength of Marshall Von Erich to counter the guillotine choke into that claw slam. And he still has it on. Lawlor fighting with everything he's got because he's gonna have to give up soon if he can't break the claw.
Tom Lawlor fighting with every ounce of energy that he has, but he's fading. The claw is on by Marshall Von Erich, and he finally lets go. Oh my. What a war of attrition here between Tom Lawlor and Marshall Von Erich.
Tom went right back to that knee and does it yet again. When in doubt, knee, 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 and now it's the half crab, but he's struggling to sink it in all the way. There it is. And now a side single crab. You don't see that very often to really put the pressure on the outside of the knee.
Will Marshall Von Erich tap? Will he tap? Oh my goodness, he is just the agony, the excruciating pain. He'll never be the same after this. He's passed out. Oh my goodness, Marshall Von Erich is passed out, and this one is over. He could not continue, and the pain was too much for him to withstand, and he passed out. This one is over. Tom Lawlor with the win over Marshall Von Erich.
A huge win for Team Filthy. You could argue that Marshall should have given it up minutes ago, but he just would not. It was the pain so much that he literally passed out And now, Team Filthy attacking Ross Von Erich.
Come on now! This is enough! Team Filthy is pounding away upon the Von Erich brothers. This is disgusting! Where is order being restored? ACH in the ring! ACH in the ring now about the Von Erichs! Look at ACH go!
A fellow Texan here to defend his brethren.
Absolute pandemonium! Look at this Donnybrook that is unloaded! Violence is forever!
We need some more officials to break this up. So much chaos in the ring as the Texans and Team Filthy just battling it out in the ring, on the floor. I don't think they can be stopped, Ray.
This is absolute craziness here between the Von Erichs and Team Filthy. They are fighting going to the backstage area. ACH finally getting there to help out the Von Erichs, but look at Team Filthy go. Violence is forever. Complete carnage here in Orlando. What a fight between these two teams and factions, Team Filthy and the Von Erichs. Thankfully, ACH came to the defense of the Von Erich brothers.